Hello. Welcome back to the BTG channel. Today we will dive into the explosive drama shaking Fairmont Crest on Monday, November 24th, and unpack how one shocking day could change everything for the residents of Beyond the Gates. The upcoming episode centers around three intense story threads that quietly connect beneath the surface. A mother who delivers a brutal but necessary wake-up call, a young man trying to emotionally survive the holidays, and a man who finds out the hard way that danger is closer than he thinks. Each story might seem small on its own, but together they paint a picture of a community where secrets, egos, and unhealed wounds are all simmering just below the luxury and perfection. Nicole and Cut. A mother's tough truth. At Fairmont Crest, Nicole Dupree isn't just another elegant woman behind a gated driveway, she's the emotional compass of a fractured family. And on this particular Monday, she decides it is time to stop sugarcoating the truth for her daughter, Catherine Cott Richardson. Cott comes to Nicole expecting comfort, validation, and maybe a bit of blame shifting. But what she gets instead is advice so shocking it may completely reset how she sees herself and the people around her. Cott is overwhelmed on every front. Her conflict with Tomas has turned from petty tension into something more personal and bitter, the kind of feud that poisons every room they share. At the same time, her relationship with her brother Martin has gone from sibling bickering to a full-on Cold War. It is not just a disagreement anymore, it is hurt pride, bruised egos, and years of unresolved issues crashing together all at once. Normally, her daughter in this situation expects her mother to take her side completely. Cott wants Nicole to say, "You're right. They're wrong. Keep fighting." But Nicole has lived too long and seen too much to play that game. Instead, she looks at the bigger picture. A daughter who has been indulged, who is used to getting her way, who has never really had to examine how her own behavior contributes to the chaos. Nicole understands that if she keeps rescuing Cott, she will keep enabling the same destructive patterns. So Nicole's shocking advice likely cuts in a direction Cott never anticipated. Rather than telling her to push harder, Nicole may tell her to pull back. Instead of encouraging Cott to win the argument, she may urge her to win something deeper: respect, maturity, and self-awareness. The hardest words for Cott to hear might be that she is not always the victim, and that sometimes the most powerful move is to apologize, to listen, and to step down from the throne of entitlement she has been sitting on for years. This tough love stance is echoed by Cott's best friend, Chelsea Hamilton. Even Chelsea, who usually rides or dies for Cott, has started gently warning her that her attitude needs to change. When your best friend and your mother are both telling you to tone it down, it is a clear sign that the problem might not just be them, it might be you. Nicole's advice effectively forces Cott to ask herself a question she has been avoiding. Does she want to be feared and obeyed, or loved and respected? Family feuds and the cost of pride. Underneath Nicole's conversation with Cott is a deeper theme: the cost of letting pride run your life. Cott's issues with Eva and Martin are not happening in a vacuum. In a wealthy, high-status family like the Duprees and Richardsons, appearances matter. Reputation matters. And every disagreement risks becoming a performance rather than a real attempt to solve anything. Martin is not just her brother, he is a man with his own ambitions, image, and pressures. When siblings grow up in a powerful family, they often compete for validation, attention, and control. Their current feud may be about one specific incident on the surface, but emotionally it represents years of silent competition. Nicole can see what Cott can't. If this fight continues, Cott and Martin may damage their relationship in a way that can't be repaired, no matter how many holiday photos they pose for. Nicole's warning is really about the long game. Today, Cott might feel strong by doubling down, refusing to back off, and demanding that everyone see things her way. But 10 years from now, when parents are older, when crises hit, when the family needs to stand as one, Cot may regret burning bridges over battles that were more about ego than principle. Nicole's advice forces Cot to decide whether she wants a short-term victory or long-term peace. And then there is Eva. Even if Eva is technically an in-law, or connected through complicated family ties, she is still part of the inner circle. Going to war with someone you will keep encountering at every dinner, wedding, and family event is exhausting. Nicole likely wants Cot to understand that not every insult needs a counterattack, and not every slight deserves a scorched earth response. Sometimes winning is walking away with your peace and your dignity intact. Izaiah's holiday battle. Surviving, not just celebrating. While Nicole is trying to pull her daughter back from the edge, across town Izaiah Hawthorne is facing a different kind of emotional crisis. How to get through the holidays when your own home doesn't feel like a safe place. On paper, the week of Thanksgiving should be about gratitude, comfort food, and family togetherness. In reality, for Izaiah, it looks more like a psychological battlefield. His strained relationship with his father, Izaiah Hawthorne, has turned the idea of holiday cheer into something that feels almost hostile. Every family gathering means tense silences, cutting comments hidden under polite smiles, and a constant expectation that he will just get over it for the sake of the season. When you are not at peace with a parent, the pressure of a holiday table can feel like being trapped under a microscope. That is why Izaiah reaches a point where he knows he needs help. He is not just asking, "How do I stand being in the same room as my father?" He is really asking, "How do I protect my mental health, my self-respect, and my sanity in a space where I feel judged or rejected?" The holidays amplify everything: unresolved anger, disappointment, unmet expectations, and Izaiah understands that going into this season unprepared would be emotional suicide. The big question is, who steps up for him? Who will guide Izaiah? Several possible advisors surround Izaiah, each offering a different kind of emotional toolkit. His brother Jacob might be the most obvious choice. Brothers who grow up in the same household under the same father often share an unspoken understanding of each other's pain. If Jacob has also clashed with Elon, he can provide not just comfort, but strategy. He might encourage Izaiah to lower his expectations, to stop waiting for Elon to suddenly become the perfect father, and instead focus on controlling what he can. His reactions, his boundaries, and the amount of time he actually spends in emotionally toxic situations. Eva could be another surprising source of guidance. Positioned in the middle of multiple family storms, she has probably learned how to read the room, how to control her expression, how to pick her battles, and how to survive in an environment where emotions run high and secrets run deep. Eva might give Izaiah advice that blends empathy with practicality. Acknowledge what hurts, but don't let it consume you. Remember that you can love your family and still protect yourself from their damage. Then there's Haley Hamilton, who brings an outsider's clarity. Someone slightly detached from the Hawthorne bloodline and offers something incredibly valuable: perspective. Haley could remind Izaiah that he is not defined by his father's approval, that he has the right to excuse himself from conversations that cross the line, and that there is no rule saying he has to sacrifice his well-being just to maintain a perfect holiday image. She might be the one to say out loud what Izaiah has been afraid to admit: that family should not be an automatic excuse for emotional harm. Whichever person ultimately advises him, a heart of Izaiah's story is this: he is trying to learn how to live in a complicated family without losing himself. The advice he receives may not magically fix his relationship with Elon, but it can give him tools to get through the season without breaking. Tomas Navarro. A warning at the edge. While Cot wrestles with humility and Izaiah struggles with survival, Tomas Navarro finds himself standing on a different kind of cliff. The spoilers hint that he receives a warning, or what makes a warning truly powerful is not just what is said, but when it is said and whether it is already too late. Tomas lives in a world where secrets, accuracy, and alliances are always shifting. A warning in that kind of environment suggests that someone has seen danger coming long before Tomas has. Maybe it is tied to his romantic life, getting too close to someone whose motives are not as true as they appear. Maybe it is professional, a deal, a case, or a partnership that looks shiny on the outside but is rotten underneath. Or it could be personal, a risky decision fueled by anger, revenge, or desperation. What matters is that someone cares enough, or is scared enough, to pull him aside and say, "Stop, look at what you are about to do." That moment can be a turning point. If Tomas listens, he might avert a disaster. If he ignores it, his next scenes may involve fallout he never saw coming, betrayal, exposure, legal trouble, or heartbreak. This warning also mirrors Nicole and Izaiah's stories thematically. All three arcs on this episode are about people being confronted with hard truths before they hit a point of no return. Nicole warns Cot about the cost of her pride. Izaiah seeks warning signs about his own limits during the holidays. Tomas is handed a direct alert that his path is not as safe as he believes. The episode quietly asks every character the same question. Will you listen when life tells you to slow down, reflect, and choose differently? A pivotal day at Fairmont Crest. Taken together, Monday, November 24th is not about big car crashes or shock deaths. It is about inner collisions. Cot collides with the reality of her own behavior. Izaiah collides with the truth about his family's impact on his mental health. Tomas collides with the consequences of a road he is walking, whether he realizes it or not. For viewers, this episode promises a rich blend of emotional confrontation, quiet but powerful turning points, and a kind of character-driven drama that keeps you invested week after week. It deepens existing storylines instead of randomly inventing new ones, and it uses advice, warnings, and difficult conversations as the fuel for future explosions. So stay tuned, because what looks like just another Monday at Fairmont Crest may actually be the day that reshapes alliances, exposes weaknesses, and sets in motion conflicts that will carry us all the way through the holiday season and beyond.